And I'm back. It's a little bit later in the day. My stomach has settled a little bit, so we're going to see just how many more of these I can get through. Fit Joy is going to be the next up. I've seen these popping up every now and then, and I wanted to give them a try. So first up, we're going to go with the chocolate chip cookie dough. I can already tell it's going to be a pretty chewy bar. It is pretty chewy. Not quite as chewy as a Quest bar. It's got whey protein, 220 calories in this bar, so it's a little higher than some of the other ones. A really good taste though, I like it. Maybe a 6 out of 10 for sweetness, 7 out of 10 for saltiness. They're just pretty salty. And I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for taste. When you're eating all this super salty, super high protein food, water is absolutely essential. Next up, French vanilla almond. It's an interesting looking bar. Looks like it has a couple of layers with some kind of drizzle on top. And kind of a bready inside. Again, quite chewy. Same kind of saltiness and sweetness as before. I think vanilla and almond is a pretty good flavor combination too. So I'll give this a 6 out of 10 for flavor. Some of the ingredients lists on these, just absurd how long they are. This is the mint chocolate crisp flavor Fit Joy bar. Looks like it's chocolate coating with a bready inside. Once again, I see no mint in the ingredients list, and the mint flavor is really artificial. This is another one that tastes a lot like mouthwash. I'll tell you, today my jaws are getting a hell of a workout. Last up is the frosted cinnamon roll. Okay, it looks like it's the same kind of deal as the vanilla almond. Looks like it might have some kind of nut on top. Let's see if I can find out what it is. Looks like it has pecans on top. Pecans are definitely my favorite nut, and they go really well with that cinnamon roll kind of flavor. So Fit Joy, a little bit chewy. Not super hard to chew through though. It's kind of a nice chewiness. Good mouthfeel to it. Fairly salty. All of them probably a 7 out of 10 for saltiness. Between a 5 and a 7 out of 10 for sweetness. And I think that the frosted cinnamon roll, chocolate chip cookie dough, and the French vanilla almond were all really good. I'm finding that I don't really like the mint flavored bars though. So I think I'll strike mint off of the flavor of bars that I'm going to buy in the future. This frosted cinnamon roll with the pecans though, it's pretty good. Next up, I'm going to try some of these Think Thin bars. I see them around just like grocery stores all around the place. So it looks like they have a blend of soy and whey protein. It does have some maltitol in it, so a little bit of sugar alcohol. Actually, a pretty good amount of sugar alcohol. Looks like it has 11 grams. Only 1 gram of fiber. A little bit higher carb, but not super high in sugar. This in fact has 0 grams of sugar, but 10 grams of other carbs. I assume that's like flour and oats and that kind of thing, starches. So this is a chunky peanut butter chocolate dipped Think Thin protein bar. It doesn't really taste like it has many peanuts in it. I think, yeah, it tastes like artificial peanut flavoring, which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, not impressed. Flavor gets maybe a 4 out of 10. It has a lot of sodium, but it doesn't taste very salty. 240 milligrams per bar. Yeah, not super impressed, and not very sweet. Maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10. It just tasted artificial, like artificial. Alright, so next up we have cookies and cream. The Think Thin bars. Fingers crossed it'll be a little bit better. Well, this one isn't quite as bad. I'm very unimpressed though. Not super good. Maybe just like a 5 out of 10 for flavor. Luckily, I'm noticing that it looks like I have some duplicates of these bars. So I'm just gonna put these over here and forget they exist. Now, this is a protein and fiber bar. So we'll see if this is any different. A chocolate almond brownie bar. So it's a little bit thinner. Oh man. Much harder to chew through. Not super pleasant. It's got the texture of like stale bread. And a little bit of the flavor of stale bread too. Think Thin. That is definitely a bar to skip. In fact, the Think Thin bars are so bad, I'll leave them for later and just see if they see if I forget about them. Let's go back and finish up the last 2 Boo Fit bars. This is double dark chocolate chip. Sounds good. Paleo protein again. This one probably has some whey protein in it. One thing about these Boo Fit bars is they are very compact. A bit of a strange flavor on that one. I can't quite pinpoint it. It must be the egg white protein. I think that is the egg white protein. Has kind of a different flavor from whey protein products. But this one only has 11 grams of fat. So slightly lower fat than the other Boo Fit bars. I didn't really like the taste of that one as much as the other Boo Fit bars. I might give the taste a 5 out of 10. It didn't have that greasy sheen like the first one with the peanuts that I tried. Again, it was a strong chocolate flavor. It's not very sweet, so it was almost bitter. So the sweetness was maybe a 4 out of 5. The saltiness was pretty good. And yeah, the flavor maybe a 5 out of 10. Did I say the sweetness was 4 out of 5? I meant 4 out of 10. So 4 out of 10 for sweetness, 5 out of 10 for flavor. but if you like chocolate, then maybe it's a good bar for you. This last one, chocolate, tart cherry, and pistachio. I can smell the pistachio and cherries. Ooh, really crumbly. I can tell without looking. This must be one of the vegan protein bars. Yep, vegan protein with organic pea protein. Like I've said before, I'm not a big fan of the chocolate and the fruit, so I think the tart cherry is a little bit out of place for me, but the pistachio is pretty good. So I'll give this one a 6 out of 10 for flavor, and again, just like a 4 out of 10 for out of 10 for sweetness. It has 14 grams of fat in it, so 210 calories, 120 of them from fat. So if you like chocolate and cherries, this one would probably be pretty good for you. Moving right along. Oh, way across the table. Let's try these Oh Yeah Victory Bars. Now, this brand, Oh Yeah, they have a lot of different types of bars. I saw the Victory Bars were the kind with high fiber, not quite so much sugar, but they were some of the only ones that didn't have artificial sweeteners. So that's why I went with the Victory Bars. So, Oh Yeah Victory Bars. I'm going to start with peanut butter chip. Let's see how peanut butter chip tastes. Looks like it's the same kind of texture that you'd see in a Quest bar. A little bit, looks like it'll be a little bit easier to chew. Okay, good. A good peanut flavor. It has these peanut chips in them. See if I can extract one. A good peanut flavor, but the sweetener tastes a little bit odd to me. It's just sugar. Most of the sweeteners in this are sugars. So this bar does have 8 grams of sugar, a little bit more than some of the other ones. It's 200 calories with 21 grams of protein. I'm chewing it quite a bit, but it actually has a nice texture to it that I'm enjoying. So the sweetness, not super sweet. Well, it is pretty sweet. I'll give it a 6 out of 10 for sweetness. Maybe it's just that I'm not used to eating sugar, but the sweetness does taste a little bit weird to me. I love peanut butter though, and this is a combination of whey and milk protein. I think I'd buy it again. Not bad. Not super salty, maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10 for salt. And the flavor on that peanut butter one, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Not great, but good. Next up we have the chocolate fudge brownie victory bar. For victory! Ha! Looks like a big hunk of chocolate with some peanuts in the middle and some chocolate chips on top. So it looks pretty good. Oh no. A little bit harder to chew. This might be one of those ones that you put in the microwave for 10 seconds before you eat it. Which, of course, I'm going to try right now and see how it goes. Alright, just a few seconds in the microwave. I did 7 seconds and it's much, much softer. Much easier to chew through. So if you're able to, warm this up just a little bit. I think it improves the texture, made it a little bit easier to chew. Not super sweet, maybe a 5 out of 10. Pretty salty though, maybe 6 or 7 out of 10. And the flavor, again, I know the super chocolatey ones haven't been my favorite so far. So the flavor, I'm going to say 5 out of 10. Next up, chocolate chip cookie dough. Again, one of my favorite flavors. Okay. Something that tastes really almost like vanilla in here, but I don't see any vanilla on the ingredients list. It does have that mysterious natural flavors though, so maybe that has some vanilla in it. I don't know. The flavor overall though is it's pretty good. A little bit sweeter, maybe 6 out of 10. So for the chocolate chip cookie dough, like I said, 6 out of 10 for sweetness. The flavor is alright. I'm going to say it's a 6 or 7 out of 10 for flavor. Pretty good. And it's got that same pretty chewy texture that's not too hard to get through, not too hard to chew through. So not altogether unpleasant on the texture either. Next up is cookies and cream. So going from cookie dough to cookies and cream. This looks almost identical to the chocolate chip cookie dough, except it has white chocolate chips on it instead of milk chocolate chips. And it does even have some milk chocolate chips embedded in the middle of the bar, if you can see that. A little bit of a different flavor. It tastes kind of starchy. It does have honey in it, so I think that's adding a pretty unique flavor. The white chocolate chips are actually adding a little bit of crunch, which I think is odd. So a little bit of crunch in the bar, so it's not just super chewy. And I think that does make it a little bit more pleasant, which is kind of nice. I really like this. But like I said before, I'm a big fan of the white chocolate, so I might have a little bit of a predisposition to like that. I'll give it a 7 or 8 out of 10. We'll go 8 out of 10 for flavor, and 6 out of 10 for sweetness. Oh, those bits in the middle are actual chocolate cookies. So that must be what's giving it that crunchy texture. And those are made with rice flour, so that might add to the starchy taste that I'm getting too. So far, cookies and cream victory bar, one of the better ones. The macros on it aren't the greatest. 11 grams of net carbs, so that's total carbohydrate of 27 minus the fiber, 16 grams. And 7 grams of fat, but 21 grams of milk and whey protein. So definitely not vegan, but still pretty good. And the last one up is the oatmeal raisin cookie. So I see that there's been a cookie theme with these. And I know oatmeal raisin isn't usually a favorite for most people, but I'll keep an open mind. Oh man, that really smells like an oatmeal cookie. That smells really good to me. So a little bit less fat, same 11 grams of net carbs. So it's made with oats and actual raisins, not just some raisin flavor, so it doesn't taste super artificial. This is really good. Oh yeah, victory bars. Some of the better ones so far. Better ones for a typical protein bar anyway. A little bit chewy, and it does have raisins on the inside of it. You might be able to see like there's a raisin sticking out there. But the texture is such that they aren't really that offensive. Like when I bite into a cookie and I get a raisin, it's terrible. But in this, pretty good. Let's finish off these no-cal bars. Just 2 left. Starting with blueberry cobbler. It's a little sticky. Again, the D's Naturals no-cal bars, totally vegan. A little bit lower calorie, very low in fat. Has that same like soft, fresh-baked cookie texture. The blueberry flavoring is not super pronounced, but it's still faintly sweet. It's maybe a 5 or 6 out of 10 for sweetness. Made with dried blueberry powder, so it has actual blueberries in it. And you can really tell that it tastes like blueberries, not like artificial chemical-y flavor. Again, pretty high in sodium, 220 milligrams, so it does have a nice salty flavor to it. Even though I don't usually like the fruit-flavored bars, this one's pretty good. I'm going to give it a, we'll say a 7 out of 10. Why not? The last of the D's Naturals, raspberry truffle. This one's, it feels also a little bit sticky, so that's a little bit odd to me. But it has cocoa nibs. It has cocoa nibs, almonds, and natural flavor. I don't see any actual raspberries in the ingredients list once again. So you see it has little dark speckles in it. I have a feeling those are the cocoa nibs. It doesn't taste like raspberry at all. I don't know where the raspberry is coming from. I'm going to say a 5 out of 10 for sweetness. Maybe a 5 out of 10 for flavor too. Now this one is only 160 calories. It's astounding to me that it's 160 calories and 21 grams of protein. You don't see that in very many protein bars. And this one has 27 grams of carbohydrate, but 3 grams of sugar, alcohol, and 20 of fiber. So it only has 4 effective grams of carbohydrate. So D's Naturals, vegan bar, even if you aren't vegan, it's still pretty good. A good salty bar for after a hard workout. Lots of protein, good starchy texture and mouthfeel and flavor. So I'd say definitely check them out. They're really, they're not too bad. I thought the chocolate peanut butter no-cal bar might be my favorite one that I've had so far. Even though the rest of the D's Naturals no-cal bars are kind of hit and miss. So next up, I love cheesecake, and these are the gourmet cheesecake protein bars. So I had to give these a shot. These are from Ansi. So this is a chocolate coconut cheesecake flavor. We'll see how it goes. High hopes for something that calls itself cheesecake. Whoa. I think this bar might have been chocolate covered or something, but maybe it melted or it got crushed in transit. Oh, there we go. Must have had a chocolate top to it. Alright, so it's whey and milk protein again. And it has, it says it has unsweetened coconut in the ingredients list, but there's more natural flavor than there is unsweetened coconut. And it really does taste like artificial coconut flavor. So kind of disappointed in that. Pretty low in sodium. Not much at all in terms of salt. So maybe a 3 out of 10 for the saltiness. Not super sweet. 5 out of 10 for the sweetness. And a 4 out of 10 for the flavor. I'm not really enjoying this, even though it's a cheesecake bar. Not quite as enjoyable as an actual piece of cheesecake. But still, not as bad as the Think Thin bars. Those were just awful. Gotta have your water. Really, guys, eating this much protein in this short amount of time is really unhealthy. So the water helps mitigate that. So that's why I'm drinking so much friggin' water. Next up, chocolate peanut butter cheesecake flavor. Well, this is actually just a layer of chocolate and a layer of peanut butter. It looks like this one held together a little bit better. Now the peanut butter flavor on this guy, it really tastes like that defatted peanut flour, like the PB2 or something like that. In fact, that looks like that's what it is. Defatted peanut flour. So it's not actual peanuts. I guess that helps to reduce the fat. This is 220 calories in this bar with 9 grams of fat and 20 grams of protein. Only 6 grams of effective carbs though. I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 10 for sweetness. The flavor's not bad. It's not super great, not as bad as that last one. So we'll say a 6 out of 10 for the flavor. So this is raspberry truffle cheesecake flavor. Now I haven't liked the previous fruity berry bars, but I'm hoping that the quote-unquote cheesecake flavor makes this a little bit better, because berries and cheesecake is a flavor that I actually really like. Oh no! It's raspberries and chocolate. So I think this one's going to be a fail as well, but we'll see. That is actually not too bad. Not a huge amount of chocolate flavor. The more that I eat this though, the more that I'm thinking that it's just another artificial raspberry flavor. Yeah, lo and behold, we have natural flavors but no actual raspberries in this bar. So the first bite wasn't bad, but after that it got pretty bad. So these Antsy gourmet cheesecake protein bars, they're a little bit chewy, not super hard to get through though. Unfortunately, they do have that kind of artificial flavors to them, not the actual flavors, which is unfortunate. It is a milk protein bar, high fiber, with just a little bit of sugar, not too much, not much at all, just a couple of grams of sugar, but right around 200 or 220 calories per bar with 20 grams of protein. These are not super sweet, no sugar alcohol, that's kind of nice. I don't think I'd go out of my way to get these though. So the flavor on this one, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. For the sweetness, same with the other bars, about a 5 out of 10. These are all relatively low sodium, low salt, so maybe like a 3 or a 4 out of 10. So if someone gave one of these to me, I'd go ahead and eat it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to look for them. And my stomach is once again telling me that it's time to stop. I've still got lots and lots of bars here. I did find 4 duplicates, so we're down from 85 to just 81 bars. 3 of these gourmet cheesecake bars left to try, but I'll have to try them a little bit later, probably on a different day. Alright, so I'll probably see you guys later.